Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Arnold, and tonight is a follow-up from our last video on moving into fifth dimension and programming it. And in this video, we're going to go a little bit further with it, and I'm going to explain the difference between receiving gifts in third dimension and receiving gifts in fifth dimension and what that looks like and why it's different. Third dimension gifts come with limitations, and fifth dimension gifts come with magic. I'm also going to put a link in the description below for a playlist of all my fifth dimension videos for those of you who want to dive deeper. So I'm going to start with answering some questions that came up from our last video. Some people were wondering if and how often they have to move to fifth dimension to program it. You can do it as often as you would like. It's not about destroying the ego or never experiencing third dimension. It's about moving back and forth from third dimension to fifth dimension. And the more that you program your fifth dimension reality, the more it starts to merge together so that you receive more abundance and magical gifts from the universe and be in alignment and synchronicity. So it's about experiencing both frequencies. We're here to play on planet Earth, and Saint Germain says there's 10 dimensions here and you have access to 5 of them because Mother Earth has expanded in her consciousness and you have expanded in your consciousness. So there's not a separate world that we're going to fly off to or move to. In the physical reality, we do this within our own consciousness, and as we change the vibration within ourselves, our outer world changes to match that vibration. So some people will be in third dimension all the time. They're not going to be moving in and out of fifth dimension because that's not the game they're here to play. But for those of you who are awakening and want to experience both frequencies of third dimension and fifth dimension, you can move in and out of these frequencies by programming it, like I said in the last video and the other videos that I've done on this topic. So there's no right or wrong, it's just where do you want to play, is what Saint Germain's saying. Where do you want to play with the frequencies, and how do you want to change your reality? So both worlds are happening at the same time, simultaneously. There's always 2 aspects of you, one in third dimension, one in fifth dimension, and you merge and tap into each one. You come in and out of it. So if there's somebody that you want to help, you go over and help them, and you're in third dimension. The gifts in third dimension are different than fifth dimension. So when somebody's giving a gift in third dimension, because they're in third dimension, the only program that's running in third dimension is a program of duality, of contrast, of polarities. So there has to be an ego reason why they're giving the gifts. In fifth dimension, everything looks a lot different because there's no limitations. There's no polarities, there's no contrast, there is no duality. So there's always an expectation in third dimension because we're run by the ego. So there's expectations of what it looks like if I give this gift, how that person's going to react, and how I react to them reacting. And so it comes with all of these limitations and expectations and a point system. A lot of people have point systems like I did this for you and now I expect you to do something for me in return. And even people who are saying, well, I give from my heart, I don't give from my head, like I'm giving from my heart. The person you're giving to is in third dimension, so they might reject the gift and then you feel upset that they didn't want your gift. So there's always a third dimension aspect somewhere in third dimension. When we move to fifth dimension, and the universe starts to rearrange its reality to match your frequency, and it starts to deliver gifts to you, you're not initiating it, so it doesn't pull you back to third dimensions. So that's why in our last video, Saint Germain was saying, do not initiate, because as soon as you initiate, you're showing the universe, I'm doing something, I'm giving and I'm going to initiate and go talk to that person first, and then it pulls you back to third dimension. So in fifth dimension, you wait and the universe starts to bring gifts to you, but the gifts are going to look a little bit different. And the difference is that in fifth dimension, it starts to get magical. It starts to show up without limitations. And I will give some examples of this. If you're in third dimension, it might be raining outside. But in fifth dimension, there's sunshine. It may be that you have a thought, I'm living in an apartment and I wish I lived in the woods, and then an hour later you look outside your window and there's 5 people planting trees around your apartment building. The universe started to bring the woods to you. And so as you get into alignment with this and do this practice from our last video and from the other videos that I have in fifth dimension, what begins to happen is your third dimension and fifth dimension worlds start to merge and you start to have more alignment. So if you're going for a drive on the highway and it's raining and you say, well, I'm going to move to fifth dimension, then the sun comes out. So you're like, wow, okay, that worked. And you start to question, then it pulls you back to third dimension. Keep saying, no, I believe that this is fifth dimension and this was a gift from the universe. Show me more. So you want to keep in that vibration of fifth dimension to have more gifts show up. So maybe there's heavy traffic. So say I'm in fifth dimension. In fifth dimension, there is no traffic because there is no suffering and struggling in fifth dimension. We're letting go of the polarities from third dimension. So now all the traffic leaves and it's just you on the highway, and then somebody's merging up onto the highway and you're saying, well, that's causing me struggle. I've got to move over lanes and it's putting some fear into me. I don't want to get in a car accident. So in my reality, I'm going to go to fifth dimension where the universe aligns it so no one's ever merging into my lane. And then you'll notice that people might merge before you or after you, or there's no cars at all. So things begin to align and the universe begins showing you these delicious gifts that you would never even think of. People walk up to you and give you gifts. Like somebody might walk up and say, do you feel lucky today? And hand you money. So all this magic starts to show up. You might get sunburned easily and you forgot your sunscreen and it's sunny out and you notice you didn't burn that day. Or you might go outside and you're always surrounded by insects, like there's flies and mosquitoes biting you. And then all of a sudden when you move to fifth dimension, there is no insects because there's no struggle or suffering. So the universe around you begins to change and match the frequency within you. And you might be driving to a destination and it's 4 hours away and you want to fold space and time and get there faster. So you move out of third dimension and move into fifth dimension, and your time of your trip gets cut in half and you're wondering, how did that just happen? Because you folded space, you moved and changed it within yourself, and then the universe arranged for it to happen. Then you'll have evidence of it. So at first we don't have evidence when we create things in fifth dimension. It seems like magic and it's hard for our brains to wrap around it. But when the universe starts to move and change things in your reality, then the belief gets created, and then all this magical stuff starts showing up. Like I had done a video before explaining during storms, everybody's power will go out, but ours will stay on. So I program it to stay on and move to fifth dimension, move our whole house to fifth dimension before the storm comes. So you can program anything you want in your reality to work in your favor, to tap into the fifth dimension version of it, and then tell it what you would like to see in fifth dimension. And then the belief gets created because you're saying, well, that's what I kept programming, and now I have evidence of it. So have fun with this. Enjoy playing in fifth dimension, moving back and forth. Remember, the ego's there to assist you. It's not there to be destroyed, and it's about letting go of the attachment to the ego, but not the death of the ego. It's not dying. It's just that we let go of our attachment to it. So there's some people that are really angry at the ego, but it's seen that the ego is there to help us too. It helps us make decisions. It helps us to book appointments or to make our breakfast. Like, the ego's there as a tool for us to work with, not against. So it's not about destroying the ego. It's about experiencing both frequencies of third dimension ego and fifth dimension freedom, but blending and merging in and out of them. If you want to stay in third dimension and serve people and give gifts all week and visit family and friends, then do that. But then if you want to play in fifth dimension for a little bit, then jump over there. So it's always up to us where we want to play. Saint Germain says have fun with it and just enjoy being the alchemist, the master alchemist that you are. Have a great night, and we will see you next time.